Khachaturian sisters who killed father touch Russian hearts. Welcome to SilvaScene by Scene YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to share with you a true crime story of one man in Russia. And before we begin, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for the upcoming true events around the world. Let's get started. Investigators have confirmed the girl's father abused them physically and psychologically for years. Charged with murder, the sisters and what should happen to them have become one of the hottest topics of debate in Russia, and more than 300,000 people have signed a petition calling for their release. What happened to the father? On the evening of 27th of July 2018, Mikhail Khachaturian, 57, summoned Kristina, Angelina, and Maria, who was a minor at the time, one by one to his room. He scolded them for not cleaning the flat properly and sprayed pepper gas in their faces. Soon afterwards, when he had fallen asleep, the girls attacked him with a knife, hammer, and pepper spray, inflicting fatal wounds to his head, neck, and chest. He was found to have more than 30 knife wounds. The young women then called the police and were arrested at the scene. The investigation soon uncovered an extensive history of violence in the family. Khachaturian had regularly beaten his daughters over 3 years, torturing them, keeping them as prisoners, and sexually abusing them. That evidence against their father is cited in their indictments. Spotlight on domestic abuse. The case quickly became a cause célèbre in Russia. Human rights activists argued that the sisters were not criminals but victims, as they had no means of getting help and protection from their abusive father. However, there are no laws protecting victims of domestic violence in Russia. Under legal changes introduced in 2017, a first-time offender who beats a family member, but not badly enough to put them in hospital, will face only a fine or up to 2 weeks in custody. Police in Russia usually treat domestic abuse as a family issue, providing little or no help at all. The sister's mother, who had also suffered beatings and abuse from Khachaturian in the past, had approached the police years before. So did the family's neighbors, who were highly afraid of him. But there is no evidence that the police acted on any of these appeals for help. At the time of the murder, the girl's mother was not living with them, and Khachaturian had forbidden his daughters from contacting her. According to psychiatric assessments, the girls lived in isolation and had been suffering from post-traumatic stress, PTSD. What has happened during the investigation? The Khachaturian sisters' case has moved slowly. They are no longer in custody, but they are subject to restrictions. They cannot speak to journalists, nor to each other. Prosecutors insist the killing of Khachaturian was premeditated murder, as he was asleep, and the sisters coordinated their actions, snatching the knife earlier that morning. The motive was revenge, they argue. If found guilty under that charge, the sisters face up to 20 years in jail. It is alleged that Angelina wielded the hammer, Maria the hunting knife, and Kristina the pepper spray. However, the sisters' lawyers say the killing was in fact an act of self-defense. Indeed, the Russian criminal code allows self-defense not only in cases of immediate aggression, but also in cases of continuous crime, such as a hostage situation where the victim is being tortured. The defense insists that the sisters were victims of continuous crime and should therefore be released. The sisters' lawyers are hopeful the case could be dropped, as the investigation has confirmed extensive abuse by Khachaturian towards his daughters dating back as early as 2014. Human rights activists and many other Russians now want the law changed, and measures introduced such as state-funded shelters, restraining orders, and courses for managing abusers' aggressive behavior. Thank you for watching, and if you like the video, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.